The Marine barracks blew up. Two suicide bombers ran a suicide truck mission into the Marine barracks. It was the largest loss of Marine life since the Battle of Iwo Jima.
I do not know you, but I am your brother.
You do not know me, but I am your protector.
I will run into a burning building to save your life.
Though I do not know your name, I will take a bullet for you.
Though we've never met,
I believe in duty and sacrifice
of self.
Your family is my family.
Is my family. Your life is my duty.
What's going on, guys? Time for another episode of Behind the Uniforms. For those of you who have never seen the show before, the way it works is that we invite veterans, first responders, active, retired onto the show. They bring a bottle of whiskey, scotch, bourbon. For the whiskey wall, we share a drink. They share a story about a good day and about a bad day, just to show that the men and women behind the uniforms are just like us. So without further ado, tell everyone who you are. You brought a great scotch, man.
Thank you. My name is Matthew Corey, and yeah, I love the Ardbeg. It's real smoky. It's from 1815, and it's a great comeback story. The distiller is from a small island of Islay in Scotland, where my grandmother's from the Isle of Skye, where I happened to open my Irish pub. It's called McKinnon's Irish Pub, which actually is a Scottish name, but it's a great comeback story. They actually failed, came back, did a great run, and it's just delicious. It's a nice dessert. If you like smoky scotches, this
like
is
real smoky. This episode is not sponsored by them, but if they see this and they want to sponsor further episodes, feel free by all means.
That's great.
So give everybody some context. Micah introduced us. I was super excited about that. So tell them all a little bit more about you.
Well, thanks for having me, Kyle. My name is Matthew Corey. I grew up in Manchester, right here in this hometown. I went into the United States Navy right out of high school in 1982. Was on a USS Trenton, which is they call the Gator Navy. It's a Marine carrier. We were deployed to Beirut. On the way to Beirut, we stopped in Grenada for Mission Urgent Fury, and then on the way over to Beirut, where they happened to have the Marine barracks blew up. Two suicide bombers ran a suicide truck mission into the Marine barracks. It was the largest loss of Marine life since the Battle of Iwo Jima.
Jeez.
We lost 220 Marines, 18 sailors, and 2 or 3 soldiers,
Jeez.
along with the multinational force. So we were deployed over the Beirut for 6.5 months. Some of the best parts of the trip were we happened to break down. We had a stern gate, a lever break, so we had to port in Haifa, Israel. And I'll tell you, the IDF soldiers and the country of Israel couldn't have been more hospitable to us. It was fortunate to spend actually Christmas in Jerusalem. It's the only place in the Middle East that they allow you to celebrate every religion in Jerusalem with just open arms. And
That's incredible.
I hope to someday go back and just enjoy that country. It's just what a great ally we have over there, and just some great people.
This guy's an IDF for beasts, huh?
The women and the men are just, they're true patriots over there. They love their country. They're obligated to serve, and it's not like they don't want to serve. They love their country so much that they look forward to serving. And we met so many great people over there.
The last time I saw a passion like that here in the United States was the day after September 11th. We've had so many men and women who've come on the show who said, September 12th, I enlisted. I went on and I said, I'm going to go fight for my country. And that surge in patriotism is something that's never really been questionable over in Israel. It's just part of who you are from the time that you're a small child. Yeah. Why'd you join the military?
I wanted to give back to my country. I just felt it was a place to be. My father was a World War II veteran. I was the first one in my family of the 7 kids that I'm from to join, and my younger brother joined the Marines right after I went in. Just wanted to serve my country and, see the world, and you sure get a wake-up call when things happen real fast. So
no doubt. You want to tell me about a bad day?
A bad day? Well, it's been happening in Hartford. There's a lot of bad days, and I see a lot of the veterans. And when you were talking about everybody's patriotic after 9/11, as a veteran, when Desert Storm happened, it's just in your feeling you want to be there with your fellow veterans. And then 9/11 happened. You just overcome that feeling that you want to be part of that. And you see these young kids go off, and you wish them Godspeed home. And you see some of the veterans in Hartford, and I was happy that the president was talking about the opioid epidemic.
Yep.
And you see a lot of our veterans coming home with the hidden scars that nobody sees.
Yep.
And they're in the streets. And despite what the government says, you see them out there, and they're just good people. And so we try to reach out to them. I have 2 businesses in Hartford. One is a high-rise window cleaning company for 28 years.
Get out of here.
Yeah, jump off skyscrapers. So there hasn't been a city or town that I haven't worked in the state in 28 years. And I own a small Irish pub in downtown Hartford. So we see a lot of the veterans in the streets. And you see a lot of them during the Veterans Day Parade, which is unfortunate that they had canceled that in Hartford. We lost the big sponsorships down there. And that should be one parade that people honor. But a bad day is to see these homeless people in the street. And you try to reach out and help them every day. And there's a lot of mental illness out there.
Absolutely.
And we try to deal with them. And the Hartford police officers have their hands full out there because they're in the streets.
Yep.
They're no criminals by any means, but you see it, and it's heart-wrenching. And you know where they've been and where they're coming home to. And a lot of them are trying to get work and help. And so through my window cleaning business, we see a lot of people in the streets, whether they're veterans or not. And what's rewarding to me is, we teach them a trade. It may seem simple as a window cleaning, but you see a lot of these guys go out, and I teach them how to do storefronts, and they actually start their own little businesses. And so that's a little rewarding in that.
That's awesome. Tell me about a good day.
A good day? Well, there's a lot of good days. It's, just through the Irish pub, you see a lot of people come in and enjoy themselves and drink Ardbeg. I got to have a sip of this because it's just sitting there too long. I just can't help it.
Well, it's funny. I worked in it's delicious. That's really good.
That's a dessert at any time.
One of the things that I love about the restaurant and bar industry is that people are always celebrating something. Even when they're coming in, I'm sure you see it all the time where you are, when you're coming in, a big Irish family after a funeral, they're not there to mourn, they're there to celebrate life.
Right.
And that's something that I always found to be incredibly inspiring about the restaurant industry. You're out for a business dinner, well, you're celebrating business, or you're hoping for a win, or you're getting together with your team to celebrate your team even in the loss of business. And it's a really fun, exciting industry.
Yeah, the Irish, people relate drinking to the Irish, and it's not all what it's all about. It's celebrating a culture. And yes, their wakes are some of the funnest because they are celebrating life.
Totally. Let me ask you this. What does America mean to you?
It means a lot. It just represents the freedom and the opportunities that we all take for granted. Visiting other countries while I was in the Navy, there's no place like home. You go and see what people go without, and you come back to this country, and it says, wow, I do miss it. And your worst day is probably some of the best days in different countries that are really suffering. So
absolutely,
I think people need to really reflect on that and realize how lucky they are to be born in the United States.
It's funny, man. When we started the Whiskey Patriot Show, and if you guys haven't seen it, you've got to check it out. The whole idea was that America's very divided right now. We've all seen it. It's left versus right, Democrats versus Republicans, liberals versus conservatives. And the whole idea was, do you believe in the founding principles of America? Do you believe in the Constitution? Do you believe in supporting our first responders and veterans? Yeah, great. You're a whiskey patriot. And right. Back when they were writing the Constitution, they didn't have access to water like we do now. And so this was not only the currency, but also the typical consumption. So whiskey is simply our tribute to America. And so I don't care where people stand, left or right, if they can get together, have conversations like this. I think the media does a wonderful job of dividing us. And sometimes we just have to shut off the TV, put down our iPhones, get off social media, go hang out with our neighbor, smoke some meat, have some scotch with them. And I think we'll find the country is a lot better off than a lot of people try and tell us it is.
I agree, Kyle. People talk past each other, They have to stop and listen a little bit.
Totally. Well, brother, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, it's going to take you 2 seconds to hit the share button on this video to share these stories. Micah's waving me down. Micah's in the background. Uh-oh.
He's running for U.S. Senate.
Come on, you're running. You wouldn't drop that? Go ahead, shameless plug.
Well, listen, I'm here for the veterans, but yes, I'm currently a candidate for the United States Senate against Christopher Murphy.
Oh, buff. If I had known that would have been a whole different story. I am not a fan of him, so that's wonderful. We hope we can argue in the arena of ideas instead of personal attacks.
And I think that's what's happening in Washington. There's a lot of division down there.
Absolutely.
They need to stop and listen to each other also. Personal attacks, we don't send you to Washington or work with somebody. I mean, look, we all work with people that we don't like in the world. It's not a personality contest.
Yeah.
Let's talk about policy. Let's talk about policies that can move this country forward and once again help the veterans, but actually help the middle class and Americans get jobs and seek happiness.
Brother, it is so inspiring to me to see so many veterans like you and Micah running for positions, not doing it because you want the glory and the accolades, but doing it because you're just patriots. And I really think we need to see more and more patriots enter this arena. Business owners who actually get it, who don't have their heads up their asses because they've been through the highs and lows and they know what this country really stands for. So it's super encouraging to see guys like you and Micah throw your hat in the ring and say, I know it's not going to be fun, I know it's not going to be easy, but screw it, we're Americans. So I will drink to that all day long, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Share it. 2 seconds, it's going to take you. God bless America.